On Sundays, we make zines. Or at least I do, and most Sundays. It's not every Sunday. I started this practice back in 2015 when I wanted to make one zine every week, and I wanted to do it for a whole year. That first month that I started this project, I made two zines in 1 month when, I should have made 4. This project didn't really take off for me until I gave it a name, and I gave myself a deadline. I told myself that I would make one zine every week, and I had to be done by Sunday night. I called this project Sunday Zine, and it kind of worked. I made 50 zines that year, 50. And I come back to these time-based projects again and again. In the summer of 2018, I was getting ready to go to the XOXO festival that September. It's a festival for people who make interesting things on the internet. And I started to think that I hadn't made anything interesting in a very long time. So I set myself the challenge to make something every day for the entire month of August, and I did. I sat down with my iPad and Apple Pages and a single 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I just filled it in any way possible. In fact, one of the zines that I made that month was called Thanks. It has pockets, and it turned into an actual book called The Magic of Pockets. These time-based creative challenges have a very long history. We used to call them jam sessions when they were just musicians getting together to play. Not getting together to make an album or write a song, just getting together to play together. And then back in the 90s, game designers and developers started to do what they called game jams, named after the musical jam session, but with a slightly different goal. The goal to make a video game in the limited time available. Most of these challenges have a theme as well. This is what really attracts me to them. I have millions of ideas. Ideas are not hard for me. It's always the execution. It's the finishing that is hard. And the game jam gives you those limits. It tells you, you have to stop now because this is the deadline. Scott McCloud, who wrote the seminal book on comics called Understanding Comics, he started a personal challenge back in the 1990s called the 24-Hour Comics Challenge. 24 hours to make a 24-page comic. This thing has been running ever since, where artists take a 24-hour period and every hour they draw a page or a panel of what they're doing. It's the 24-hour comic challenge. All of these pieces of inspiration come together on a website called itch.io. Itch.io is a place for independent and solo game developers and designers to post their games. It's also a place where a lot of comic artists and zine makers are posting their products as well too. It's where I post all of my zines. You can go there, download everything for free. What they also host are game jams. What they also host are game jams. Up here, that's one of the main features of the website, and you can see all of these jams, and they're sorted in terms of the schedule. If you're thinking, I want to make a Halloween game, go join Spoopy Jam. But if you're thinking, I have a free weekend coming up, I want to see what jam is running that weekend, then you can search by day as well too. I love these game jams. I've even joined and submitted for a couple of them, but there's not a whole lot of zine jams on itch.io, and I thought I need to be the change I want to see in the world, so I'm scrolling down to see if I can find it. Look at all these jams. Look at them. There it is. The Sunday Zine Club jam. So every Sunday, wait a second, most Sundays on my YouTube channel, I do a live stream and I make a zine. I work on a zine, I finish a zine, but I've tried to make this habit of creating a zine every week. And I started to think, this is a jam. I'm just doing it by myself, but this is a jam. I make this thing in the hour and a half, 2 hours that I'm live on YouTube. This should be a jam. It should be a jam that you can join to. So if you're curious and if you want to join us, I want to show you how you can join the Sunday Zine Club. Now, the first thing that you have to do is you do have to make a profile. You just join the itch.io website. You'll get a little URL with your profile here. If you have some PDFs, some zines, or even some little games that you've made, you can upload those right here. So this is just a little bit of my back catalog, but you have to make a profile first. Then you have to join the jam. Now, I've already joined this jam, so you can see that this big red button down at the bottom, it says submit your project. If you haven't joined yet, that button will say join. You click that button, then it turns into submit. When you have your zine completed and ready to upload, then you click that submit button. Yesterday, on a live stream, I finally finished my zine for the jam. So today we're going to upload it. So we're going to click this button, submit, and we're going to click upload game because we're creating a brand new project. Here we are. We have text fields to fill out, and then on this side, you can upload images. You can upload the cover, which is the most important because it's going to be seen on your profile page. And then you can upload screenshots of the pages inside. We're going to start over here with the text. So first we need a title. And here's the funny thing. I haven't thought at all about what this title is going to be. My zine is actually 2 zines. You can print it separately as 2 mini zines, or you can print it double-sided, but they're 2 separate zines. So I have 2 separate titles. Whatever You Say, Ma'am, and Pop Quiz Hot Shot. Both of these are quotes from the movie Speed. This is our theme. I think I'm going to call it Pop Quiz Hot Shot, just because that's the thing that's been sticking in my head. So we come here and we're going to input the title, and you will see that immediately the URL is going to fill in itself. You can edit this, but I'm just going to leave it. I think that's a fine URL. This next box says short description or tagline. This is like a subtitle. It's going to appear underneath the title on your profile page. I usually write something like a zine about subject, a zine about whatever this is about. Oh, I'm typing one-handed right now. Apologies. There we are. The next is called classification. This is where you tell Itch whether you have a game, assets, mods, physical games, so not video games, music, tools that other people can use to create games, or comics and books. So mine is a book. It's a story told through mostly words rather than a story told through drawings. If you have a zine, you are going to be one of these 2 categories, I imagine. You are going to have either a comic or a book. Now, my kind of project is downloadable, meaning that it is a file that people download to their own computer. It's not going to run on the website. And then the status is that it is released. It is completed and people can download it. Now here we have pricing. You have to set this up separately. You have to connect your Stripe account, which is a separate profile that you will have to create. You also might have to fill in some tax information, or you can just make it free completely. So if by clicking no payment, that means that you're not asking for anything, and people can't even offer anything. It's just completely free. If you click paid, it is only paid. So people cannot get it for free. They have to pay the minimum price, and you can edit this. I release everything that I upload on itch.io as $0 or donate. And most of them, I just leave the suggested donation at $2. Which means that people can download my PDF without paying anything. They don't have to pay me. But if they choose to pay, they can do that. And then we have uploads. This is where you actually upload your file. You click upload files, and it will open up your file chooser, and then you just choose upload. It's going to retain the file name that it has, but you can change the display name if you wanted to. And then we come to details, description. And this is just a large text box that you can use in many different ways. You can see up here that it has formatting. I like to keep it fairly simple because I have a printable zine, a zine that is hard to read digitally. I'm going to include instructions for how to fold it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up my profile page in another tab. I'm going to open my last zine that I uploaded, and I'm going to shamelessly copy all of this. But I wrote this once. I don't need to write it again. I probably just should keep this copy in a note somewhere in Apple Notes. So you can see down here, these are links. This is a link to a webpage that I found that has a really nice illustration of how to fold. And then this is a link to my YouTube video for how to fold this style of zine. This zine was created for the Sunday Zine Club Jam number 3. Because we are on number 3. We are almost done number 3. Can you believe it? And the theme was speed. Again, trying to type one-handed. It was inspired by... Actually, I'm going to change that. I just need both my hands for this. I've started calling Speed 1994 because when I reblog a Speed post on Tumblr, I always call it Speed 1994 because speed is just not a very descriptive tag. You got to be more specific, right? So now it's like in my head. You know how like some people you only call them by the first and last name? That's how I feel about this movie now. And there are two, not versions, but there are two, actually maybe there are two versions of this zine. Okay. One is about the action film. The second is about the romance film. So I made two zines. I made one zine about how much I love it because it's a great action film. It is like the ideal, the structure of it is just exquisite. It's one of those movies that's just so nicely put together. And then the second thing I love about this movie is that it's a great romance. It is. You wouldn't believe it looking at it, right? You think, oh, it's just like a regular action hero with a love interest, right? But it's not. It is a great romance film. So I made two zines to celebrate those two parts, both of which are so important to me. That's it. I think that's all that I need for the description. And then down here we have tags. Now I will admit that tags on itch.io are not the best because the tags are very much written for video games rather than anything else. Even though itch.io is a great platform for zines, it's not an ideal platform for zines just because it was not purpose built for them. I do like to add zine as a tag. It's not perfect, but it's what we do. Here, App Store links if you're uploading it elsewhere. This field here is called custom noun. You can change how itch will refer elsewhere when it's talking about your project. So instead of calling it a project, it can call it a book. So this is tied to your classification. I usually just leave it blank. Download and install instructions. I skip this completely because I put it in the description. First, we have community. You can turn off comments completely if you just don't want to deal with that, or you can create a discussion board. So this is very much related to a video game, something that's going to be up there and people are going to have questions about it. You don't need this for a zine. Just click comments. And then we have visibility and access. If you don't have the time or you don't have all the pieces right away to publish your zine, you can click draft and that will save all the work that you've done so far. Very helpful. If you're ready, just click public and then save and view page, and then you will be ready to go. If you wanted to restrict this and allow only some people to see it and not make it completely public, that is what the restricted means. So I'm going to click public. I don't recall seeing this before. Interesting. I don't want to disable new downloads. I want people to be able to download it. So I'm going to unclick that. I am not, however, going to click save and view page yet because we're going to go back to the top and we're going to upload a cover. Most important thing is right here, the recommended size, but more importantly is the recommended aspect ratio. They want an image that is 630 by 500 pixels. If you give them an image that is not that, you're going to get black borders, gray borders around your image. It's good to fit that aspect ratio so that you can use the full space. I created a template in Affinity Designer that is the exact right size, and then I just throw an image in there, crop it, and then that's it. I am not going to upload any screenshots. I'm only going to upload a cover just because it's so short. That is in my graphics. It's right here. It's called Itch Speed. There we are. Pop Quiz Hasha. I completely forgot that I had made that my title already. If you can imagine that. I made this yesterday after the stream, and I had genuinely forgotten that I had chosen that title. Another thing that I really like that they have is that you can include a video link for some of the games that I've created. I have demo videos to go with them. And you know what? I should be linking those zine readings that I did back in July. I should do that. I'll put that on my list. Our cover image, we have our title, we have our URL. I'm just going to put some parentheses around this date. We are ready to save and view page. There it is. And you'll notice, because we had clicked the Create Submission button, it is already connected to Sunday Zine Club number 3 here. This is on my main page. So if I click my profile name up here, now you can see this is my newest zine. So it's connected to my name and my URL. But when I click on that, it is also connected to Sunday Zine Club number 3. So if I click there, now you can see we have 2 submissions to the jam. If you have any more questions about itch.io, I'm happy to answer them. Any more questions about the jam? I would love if you would join us for Sunday Zine Club jam number 3. Maybe you won't get there in time. We have, let's check, 5 days, 23 hours. Think you can do it? Yeah, I think you can do it. But we will have number 4. So the deadline for number 3 is November 3. Oh, look at that. Interesting. Sunday Zine Club Jam number 4 will start on November 10th. I hope you'll join us. I hope this has inspired you to make a zine. If you've got an idea for the jam, an idea for the theme, I'd love to hear it. Drop me a comment. I can't wait to see what you make. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video.